you ever recommended a book to someone, you find yourself almost jealous that they get to experience the story for the very first time and you don't? This week, I suggested a book to someone, and it was one of the very first times that I suggested a book and then I felt jealous that they got to experience this book for the very first time. I wouldn't ever be able to experience it like that again. And I think there are a lot of books that I would like to read for the first time again because I really bonded with the characters, or the world was like very immersive and it was a great story that unfolded. But those aren't necessarily books that I feel jealous that somebody gets to read for the first time. They're just books that I really like. But every time I talk about Shark Heart by Emily Halbert, I am quite literally jealous that anybody else gets to experience this book for the very first time. Because on its surface, it is a silly concept. If you don't know, this book is about a man who is slowly turning into a great white shark. Sounds like such a silly idea, but when I tell you that I sobbed on my couch for 45 minutes when this man turned into a shark, I'm not kidding you. This story is so immersive. There are obviously fantasy elements in here, but it doesn't take away from the overall romance or the overall world. It doesn't really feel realistic. Author sets up the world in such a way where it does just feel like your world, where people slowly turn into animals. The way that it's woven through the story, how many different characters it affects in different ways, the main character to her husband, is just so beautiful. And I've reread it. It holds up to a reread, but it's never like reading it for the very first time, where you have to like think of this silly concept that you have no idea how you're gonna go from this silly concept to sobbing. But I've yet to hear from one person that's not what happened. It is just such a heartfelt book, and it's the one that every time I suggest it, I am just completely jealous that somebody else gets to experience it for the first time, and I don't. So I want to know in a comment, what books make you jealous to recommend to your friends because they get to experience it for the very first time?